Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you here. So if you're here, you're probably here because you are really curious about this big news that I have been alluding to on Instagram. And I'm actually filming this on Father's Day, which is the 21st of June. And I'm pretty sure you are going to be watching this on Tuesday the 30th. And right now I'm actually kind of nervous to go ahead and film this and share it because there's still a lot that we have to finalize and do before it's all official. But basically this is all happening very fast, very short timeline, and I just don't think I'm gonna have time to sit down and do this any other time. So I'm just going to be confident that this is what God's will is for us, and this is what is going to happen. And yeah, so without further ado, the news is we found a place in London! Woo! So I shared a couple weeks ago that we have started to look for places in London and that our timeline had to be pulled forward because we were initially going to look for a place to live in London like later this year. Honestly, everyone's plans this year have just gone to absolute crap because it's just been one of those you just never know what's coming around the corner kind of years. And that's been the case for us. And we're really excited though. This is a really amazing place, and we've actually been searching for quite a bit longer than I have led you to believe. I actually started this search back in April, and I'm gonna share why this is happening now. So you guys know that my boys are my children. They are like my whole heart, and it has pained me deeply to be away from them for as long as I have. I'm gonna try to do this without crying. And you know, when lockdown happened and hearing about the travel ban between our two countries, the US and the UK, I freaked out. I was like, oh my God, especially when everything was being said to be closed indefinitely. And I was like, no. And I knew that that wasn't the case. I knew things would eventually open up. But I think one of the biggest things that I struggled with during COVID and the lockdown, which is technically still going on, but restrictions are loosening at this point, was just the fact that there was no end date. The planner in me, the control freak in me, if I'm being really honest, doesn't like not knowing when I can expect to plan for something that I want to plan for to happen. So I just really struggled with that, and especially with it being about the two little nuggets that I love so deeply. It just was really tough, and I realized that I have so much to be thankful for. I got here just in the nick of time. If I hadn't been able to move before the lockdown, which I obviously didn't know was going to happen, John would have been here by himself, and I would have hated for him to have been here by himself for this long. I would have hated it. And it is a blessing that I am here, and it is a blessing that we have our health, we have a safe and lovely home, and the boys are safe and happy, and all of those things. Please do not think I am naive to all of that. But we all have our own specific circumstances that have caused us stress and frustration and all of the things during COVID. So this is just mine. So all that to say, the reason why we're pushing forward the timeline is because the boys cannot be in John's flat. In the midst of finding out all the things that we needed to find out in order to get them here, one of the things was that we had to send over a letter to the what's called a freeholder of this building to request that the boys be allowed to be in the flat. Now, a lot of you probably know that John owns this flat. So how in the world is it not possible for the boys to not be allowed here? I asked the same question. And so in the UK, they have what's called a leaseholder and a freeholder for anything that you own, whether it's a house or a flat. With flats specifically, usually you are only the leaseholder of the flat. You own it, you own this flat, but the freeholder owns the land that the building sits on. So the freeholder gets to say whether or not certain things can happen within the building and within the flats. So when we were looking through all of the things that were and weren't allowed, one of them was, it didn't say that pets weren't allowed. It said that you had to request permission, and our request was denied multiple times. Yeah, I still get frustrated thinking about it, but regardless, I take anything that is a no and I try to tell myself, right, this wasn't meant to be. This isn't part of the story that was meant to happen. So that means that whatever is coming next is probably going to be better than what was initially in my mind supposed to happen. So in my mind initially I was like, great, the boys will fly over here, they'll be here for, you know, 6 months, and then we'll start our search for a place in London towards the end of 2020. And getting that no from the freeholder was basically a doorway to allow us to carve a different path for us. And I'm actually really excited that it's happening this way, because as much as this has all caused a lot of stress, I do really feel so excited about the way it's all unfolding, and I do think that this is going to be really exciting and really fun, and also cause the boys less stress in the long run. We are going to be able to welcome them into their new home without having to relocate them again, because as much as we try to decrease their stress during their flight, I know that they're not going to know what's going on. They're going to be a little freaked out. So it just makes me really happy that we'll be able to welcome them in very shortly after we move. So that is why we had to kind of get the ball rolling on moving to London now, and it's been something that we have been kind of keeping an eye out for, the perfect place. I actually found a place back in April, and I thought it was like the place, like it was it. And I actually showed it to you guys on Insta Stories not too long ago. I'll put the little Insta Story slides that I showed you guys. It was the one that was in Chiswick, which is like one of my favorite neighborhoods, and it's always been a dream of mine to potentially live there, but it's just funny how it works out. Like, I was so set on that place being absolutely perfect, and you know, when it went, because in April we just weren't in a position to move. It wasn't an essential move, and we didn't want to pay, you know, so much more money to live in a city that was basically locked down, and that we couldn't reap the benefits of. So, you know, and John wasn't working at the time. We weren't going to be able to fill this place with a tenant because no one could come over and view it. So it really didn't make sense. And so it got rented out and it was gone, and I was so bummed. But yeah, this place is going to be such a great place for us, and I'm really, really excited to show you guys and take you guys along on our moving adventure. I was supposed to do my makeup during this video. I have everything here, but honestly, I'm terrible at doing two things at once and keeping my thoughts in the right place. But anyway, I have missed vlogging, and I hope that you're excited to see new content here on my YouTube channel from here on out. Please excuse the background. It is a Sunday and it's laundry day, and John is in the office on a sales call, so I had to do what I could with the space that I had available, and this was the brightest space. So anyway, I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to share other than yeah, I guess I should probably share when we're moving. So we're moving today when you're watching this. So yeah, we don't have much time at all to get ourselves ready to go, and I shared, I think in the very beginning of the video, that like it's not even actually official yet. We haven't paid our deposit. It's just a verbal agreement that we did get it. We literally put an offer in, I mean, I think we put an offer in on the 10th of June, and we didn't hear back about it until Friday, which was the 19th. It took a really long time. So we got everything worked out, and we made a verbal agreement on Friday late afternoon at the end of the workday. So we're waiting on the contract to come through. Hopefully it will tomorrow and we can get everything signed and exchange money and get everything finalized, but we don't really have any time to lose. We really have to get everything ready. Sadly, I don't know anyone that has moved recently, so I don't have anyone to get boxes from. I might call a couple of grocery stores and just see if they have boxes that we could use, but I did order a few just in case. And yeah, we are probably going to get started on packing things up later this week. My focus tomorrow on Monday is just to shoot content for the blog and for Insta stories so that you guys don't suspect anything, because I have blog posts coming up this week and I don't want you to see anything in the background that might allude to something going on that you don't know about yet. So anyway, I'm going to do that tomorrow, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to be packing away starting Tuesday, and then I believe I'll probably have to go up to London to get the keys or sign a couple of things. I'm not sure, but I also would really love to go to the house and do some measurements. So if for nothing else, I think I'm going to be going up there to take some measurements to make sure that all of the wardrobes in the closet can fit in the second bedroom. So I'm really excited to share this whole process with you. Sorry if this was really long-winded and a little all over the place. I'm a little rusty, you guys, and I hope you'll forgive me, but I hope you're excited to see where we land and see our new place and come along on the moving process. I'll start vlogging this week so you can kind of see the behind the scenes. So anyways, all right. That does it for me today. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave them below if you like this video. And if you're excited about this move for John and myself, please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. And I will catch you guys very soon. Bye.